Hello.
Hello.
Welcome, everyone. Thanks so much for coming. As always, we appreciate you and welcome to the couch.
I love the intensity of the countdown music as it was like dun 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 dun. I was like, Dang,
Like,
dang."
why? Why so intense?
So is that how things are gonna go today? Just very intense? Lots of screaming?
Y'all, that is never how we like to approach this very intense work, but our approach is always let's come at it with a calm, collected attitude, right? Everything is going to be fine no matter what. We might break things, but that's okay. People and more senior people break things all the time. So let's just have fun with it.
Everything's fine.
Mhm.
Yeah. Okay, so and I'm so sorry I abandoned you last
Oh,
time.
you are good.
You all did a really, really beautiful tribute pitch, and what I loved is build it in free code and then copied it and pasted over so that
Mhm.
anybody who's watching yesterday's
Yep.
or watching us today, you could take your pre-existing code and yank it out.
Always.
So I was thinking what we
Mhm.
might want to do today is goof off,
Ooh, I like that.
right? All our tests pass,
Yes.
but, and this is not me making fun of your code because your code
Of
looks
course.
beautiful. Would we want to give that into a portfolio, like put it in our portfolio right now?
No, we would not because it really is just some HTML and just really light CSS, but it doesn't look um pleasing yet to the eye. So
She
I think we
deserves
should do
more.
some styling. Yeah, she deserves a lot more.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And now this is getting because we're going to get very artistic, very subjective, very weird.
Yeah,
Um, so would it be okay to have a look at our code again just to refresh?
absolutely we can. And I'm going to add this. So I'm going to make sure that y'all have a copy of this as well. So I'll throw this into the chat. Hey,
Oh, you are a
Aspa.
gift.
Welcome, friend. Beautiful. So everyone has a copy of the code here. And then I'll just minimize this and we can take a look at the index.
Oh, yeah, that'd be amazing.
Yeah. Alrighty. Lovely,
And
lovely,
index
lovely.
is what we're always going to name our main website.
That's correct.
So if I wanted to add this to a pre-existing website, I probably wouldn't want to call it index. I'd probably want to call it tribute or portfolio one tribute. So I probably
Uh,
want to change that just in case.
Yeah,
But here, it's the only page on our website really. So
exactly.
let's leave that alone.
Yeah, that sounds fine. Perfect. And so, just to remind everyone what we had went through before, we were going through the free code camp. We're building out a tribute page, and just to give folk an idea, I'm going to open this up on the live server. Remember, that's just an extension that we installed using this button over here, and it just allows us to see our code in real life a little bit.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
So it's going to sort of serve it up to us as
Mhm.
though it was already hosted and deployed. Cool.
Exactly.
Or
On like, for
deployed, I guess.
example, if it was hosted and deployed on Netlify, this is
Yeah.
like a local version, and local just means on your computer version.
So local means it's right here.
Yep.
Deployed means you've pushed it out into the world.
Perfect. Exactly. Oh.
I have got, if I can find it, I've got a
Mhm.
goofy meme image,
Ooh,
which is
throw
always
it.
helpful.
Ooh.
That I always send my students to remind them what deploy means.
Mhm.
If I can't find it, it's no. I really should have searched without saying
Oh,
anything.
no, that is okay.
Hmm.
Perfect. But in the meantime,
In the
everyone, you can see here that we have our Katherine Johnson little local website. And remember, it's local because if I were to copy and paste this to you all right now, you would not actually be able to see this on your computer because it's only on my computer right now. But even yesterday, we sent it up to Netlify, which means that the Netlify, now it's an actual website that anyone on the internet can access.
How scary and exciting! Shall we do a code review?
Oh, yes, let's do it.
Okay, so let's
Neat.
take a look. Do we want to
Mhm.
start with the code or do we want to start with the website? So the code looks
Ooh,
beautiful.
ooh, good question. Either one, whichever.
Yeah. Well, let's
What are
start
you
with the
thinking?
website because the
Yeah.
website's really fun as well. And I
Good to
know that
me.
all your code passes. So, and doing code reviews can be really hard, right?
Mhm, mhm, it
What's
can.
harder, being the person saying it or being the person who has to hear it?
Ooh, which one? I think it is subjective. It depends. It depends on how like tied you are to your code, for example. I'm someone who doesn't I'm someone who wants to focus on like let's get the work done and it doesn't necessarily
Okay.
matter how I wrote it. But it's also like code is very precious to people. So it could be you the one giving the feedback or taking the feedback. What do you think, Jess?
Oh, for me, so I love the way you're like, "Look, I'm really," and that's such a healthy way to be. I'm not too attached to my code. I just wanna
Yeah.
do a good job.
Yeah.
I'm the opposite. If you
Ooh.
criticize my code, it personally wounds me. I have the professional maturity of a 7-year-old with a dropped ice cream cone.
I got you.
So we're very for me, I love to give, like,
Mhm,
constructive design feedback, but to
mhm.
take it, just sort of like, "Yeah,
It's
yeah, we
hard.
should change." So this is perfect. So
Yeah.
I think that this heading to
Mhm.
picture ratio feels a little weird.
I agree.
Okay. Whew, whew.
Thank you for the code review. Keep going, keep going. What else can we do?
Let's scroll down because, like, the image feels really big, and, like,
Yes.
deservedly, she's done great things, but s
Right?
and then, like, I don't know, the balance just feels
Tiny.
right,
Mhm,
right.
mhm.
Um, I think that we could have I think we could have the, citation information for the image in the caption.
Ooh, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Teach folks good habits that I don't always have.
Mhm, mhm.
And then this text is kind of blocky. Do we wanna turn it
It is.
into multiple Ps?
I like that.
And then we just do weird styling, weird styling.
Yeah, that
It's not
works.
a proper code review because we kinda worked off the this is a design review instead,
Yeah, I agree with that. Yeah, it's more of
but
mhm.
you're a better programmer than I am, so your code's gonna
No,
be perfect.
we're both.
They
We're
are.
both great. Thanks, Jess.
So let's do this in a very chill way. So,
Mhm.
oh gosh, I should be taking notes. So we said, um,
Make this bigger.
fix balance. I'm just gonna put it in the chat. Fix balance of H1 and picture.
Yep.
And we also said make picture smaller
Mhm.
relative to the page,
Yes.
to the viewport.
Ooh.
And the last thing is like break up that text a little bit.
Mhm.
Okay. Oh, and we might last one
Mhm.
get weird with styling.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Okay.
Beautiful. Alrighty. So, taking on the first one that you had mentioned. So, we see that the picture is really, really massive right now. Um, so what are some ways and folk who are also learning, throw some ideas in the chat. What are some ways that we can make this picture less grand, even though Katherine Johnson is such a grand person? How can we make this picture much smaller so that it fits on the page, at least so you don't have to scroll
Like,
along the
yeah.
page? Yeah, to see the whole picture.
And this is actually a really good example because, like, the
Mhm.
balance here just feels a little weird. Like, this looks very different than most websites.
Mhm.
Um, so the one thing I'm gonna say, and this
Yeah.
isn't an option here, and this
Yeah.
is very unhelpful,
Mhm.
but one thing we can't do is if this text was an H2, we shouldn't turn it into an H1 to make it bigger.
No.
So, yeah, so the H1, 2, 3, 4, 5, that's
Mhm.
where it sits in sort of the nesting of headings.
Yes.
And we don't change those just for styling because they have semantic meaning that's really
Correct.
important.
Yeah.
So I think we could actually make that H1 bigger though in
Mhm.
styling.
Mhm. That's right.
And then I think so we could set the image to a specific percentage of the viewport.
Mhm.
We could set it to an absolute, but then we might have the opposite problem
Confused.
on a big, big screen.
Right.
And do you know what I think we might want to do? I think we might want to set a border radius.
Ooh.
Because she's centered really well in this.
Mhm.
And this is this beautiful old-fashioned black and white photo. Would giving it sort of, would giving it an oval border radius, so curving that a little bit, and then adding a border
Ooh.
around it feel a little like an old-fashioned picture frame?
Wow, I love that. That's so cute.
That more comes under get weird with styling, doesn't
Yeah.
it?
Yeah. But that's okay.
So we could go ahead and could we do some strange things with colors, or should we leave that to the end?
We can. Are you thinking about like a background color for these things? I don't know if we
Oh,
could
I'm
change the color of the photo.
I don't know. Can you
We might be able to. I've never done it before,
change
but we can try things.
image color with CSS?
Mhm. And whenever you remember, everyone, whenever you don't know how to do something, Google is always the place to find it, or your favorite search engine. That's
Hmm.
how software engineers do it, right? In their day jobs, we look up so much stuff.
So it looks like if this is a PNG,
Mhm.
we can add a filter property such as blur and contrast.
Okay, we have a JPG. Will that work as well?
I don't know.
That's okay. We can
Let's try.
find out.
So here it's done on an SVG. Oh gosh, it's going to be helpful for me to show you what I'm looking at.
That works too.
So I'm looking at the MDN docs, the
Mhm.
CSS for filter.
Beautiful.
So syntax, filter URL. It looks like it might just be SVG.
Okay.
So, okay, it looks like maybe, shall we leave this alone for right now and have a
That's
think?
okay. Yeah, that works.
And the worst we could do is try it on a JPEG. And if it doesn't
Mhm.
work, we just start a new life.
That
Because it's got a, what? Like, it's got a sepia option, which I think might look really cool if it works.
Wow, that would be really beautiful.
Hmm. Okay.
Learning.
These docs do say that we can use it on a JPEG. Do you want to try it?
Yeah, we can definitely try it.
So if we come into, is there a what's the class on that image?
Let me see.
It's image. It's
Yeah,
an
the
ID of
ID is
image.
image. Exactly.
So if we come into the CSS
Yep,
and we create a new, oh, you've already got a selector.
I gotcha.
If you type filter,
Mhm.
and then your double dots,
Ooh. I don't know how to spell things. Filter, yep, colon.
colon, and then let's see if we can make it sepia. Where'd that go?
Mhm.
Where's my
Yeah.
filter? And then it's sepia with smooth. Yeah, you're already ahead of me. And then 100%.
Yep, 100%.
All right. I don't think that did anything.
That might not. Let's see. Let's reboot.
Oh.
Oh!
Okay, 100% is a little bit much.
I'm learning things. This is awesome.
I thought that, yeah, I didn't know we could do this.
Yeah.
Like 80%?
All right, let's try it. All right. It changed it just a
Right?
bit. Wow. And let me just see what a 20% looks like. I'll change it back to 80. Let's see the difference. Okay, very cool. Very cool.
20% looks really good. 20% just gives it that depth of field, doesn't it?
Yeah, yeah, it does.
That's so fun. So we could add a blur. We could add opacity.
Okay.
I
Yep.
feel like making her look like a ghost.
I love it.
Oh, we can invert. We could I think invert would change the colors completely. Or would it?
Wow.
So filter, invert 100%. It doesn't really say what that would do, but I think it's going to swap the darks and lights around and look spooky.
Okay. And also, can you drop the thing in our chat as well so that I can
Of
copy?
course,
Yeah,
I'm
you're the best.
absolutely the meanest.
Not at all. You're the best.
No, I was teaching pseudo selectors this morning. I promise I was mean. I skipped big chunk of the lessons, wahaha, to make the learners
Ooh.
do it on their own.
Yeah, I love
Also because the lesson was very long.
Yeah, don't worry.
Oh,
Okay,
and we
and can we
should try
have
a pseudo selector as well, just to review that
that
with
works.
somebody who's nicer than I am.
Absolutely. I'm totally cool with that. Okay, so for this picture, do we want to add can we combine filter properties as well? So filter sepia as long as well as like filter opacity? Sure.
I don't know. Do you wanna
We
try
can
like,
try.
let's
Yeah.
try it.
Yeah, let's see. Because they're semi-different anyway, so let's see if we can
Yeah.
give it 100% and see if it
I
goes,
think that's gonna make it go away, isn't it?
it should, so let's make sure. Interesting.
What?
Things CSS is magic.
Try that one more time, because maybe
Let me see, filter
is opacity 100%? So it looks like it canceled out the sepia, didn't it?
it feels like it did, yeah.
So what happens if the opacity is 0?
Yeah.
Is that gonna make it that's gonna make it
It should
invisible.
make it sepia again. And it's gone. I love CSS.
I know what's going on. I
Yeah,
know why it does this. It's
hit me.
because of the cascading in cascading style sheets.
Talk about it. We gotta
So
remember. Yeah.
CSS is coming down and it's applying the style rules that sees it, and it says
Mhm.
filter sepia, and it says marvelous, marvelous. I'll
Boom.
make it sepia, and it
Mhm.
comes. It says filter see
Yep.
through, and it was like, okay, well, I'm going
Yep.
to take the source image
Mhm.
and do this. So it goes to the image and sets this rule. It
That's
doesn't
right.
go to the sepia image and set the rule.
Talk about it.
So because it's just CSS, it
Mhm.
doesn't hold, and this will make so much more sense when we do a JavaScript boot camp. I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
CSS can't really hold a state the way that
Mm.
JavaScript was. So we say, hey, we've
Mm.
turned the sepia,
Mhm.
but then when we say filter opacity, it's going to the original image and doing it again. So I
Mm.
think we've got to pick one. Can we try invert 100% just to see what that
Yeah.
feels like?
Yeah. And do we wanna get rid of this one and sepia as well?
I mean, we could just stack them. They're just always going to do the last one. We could
Yeah,
just keep the
let's
one
go.
we like the most.
So filter, and then we said invert.
Yeah,
Gonna hit that.
100%. I think this is going to
100.
flip the colors and look very spooky.
That would be super cool. Let's do it. Oh, and I have to. Whoa.
Oh,
Nice. Nice.
cool.
Very
That
cool.
was very intense.
Yep. This is so cool, by the way, everybody.
So, hmm, we could set in grayscale. We could set blurs.
Mhm,
I think the most respectful filter
mhm.
edit we did was probably the sepia one.
I agree. Yes.
Maybe we stick with the most respectful one we did.
That works.
Not that I don't appreciate the horror movie.
Look for Miss Katherine Johnson. You're right. And remember everyone, like CSS is all about like trying different things and seeing how cool you can make images. And I've used CSS for years, but I didn't even know that I could actually invert the colors of my of the images this way. So we're all learning and this is super
It's
exciting.
I confess I've never played with filter before either.
Oh, yes. I love that. Okay, so we can get rid of this. You can either comment this out, everyone, using your little comment feature, or you can just delete it as well. And then we're going to save this and then reload.
Okay,
Ta-da!
so that's just a
Looks
little bit
beautiful.
sepia. We've got some depth of tone. That feels
Yes,
okay.
yes, that
And do
feels
we
good.
wanna, like, add a little curve? Do you wanna so we've
Oh, yes, of
warped it by
course.
changing the colors. Do we wanna warp it a little bit by changing the shape?
Absolutely, we do.
And I think we can do this using a border radius property.
Right. Click it there.
And if we set border radius to 50%, it's gonna turn into a little circle.
Yep.
So I think we probably want less than 50%, but we could just slowly walk it
Little
back. We can experiment.
oval. I like that. So just so that everyone can see, that's quite
Oh,
gorgeous.
that's lovely.
And it's because I think because the image is already elongated rather than it being just a square, which would turn it into a complete circle, but the elongation makes it into a lovely oval.
I thought we were gonna have to experiment, but 50% feels really
It
good,
feels great to me.
right?
Yeah.
Do we wanna add a frame, like a picture frame?
Oh, yes, that'd be so cool.
And I think we could do that by saying border
Mhm.
and just
Right.
border.
Yep.
And then we wanna say, oh gosh, so we're gonna set the how big it is.
Yes. So
And
the
by default, oh, it even
Mhm.
look at this. It goes ahead and gives you little hints.
Yeah, little options.
Ooh, that's a lot.
Yeah,
Um, do you wanna start with just a couple pixels, maybe like 5 or
I like
10?
that.
And we
Yep.
can
Let's make sure we can see it. 10 pixels. Yep.
What's a good color for I trust your good judgment. I have
No.
terrible taste.
I'm trying to figure out what color would be nice here. Plus with the sepia. And it depends on like what the background color for the whole website's going to be, etc. But we can just try things and see how it goes. So
Yeah, these are not forever design choices.
exactly.
Do you know when individual publishing for the web first,
Mhm.
like I'm talking about GeoCities sites. So when you could
Ooh.
first make your own websites
Mhm.
back in sort of 96, 97, without
Yeah.
needing to know HTML,
Mhm.
we used to see people have a really publishing mindset. You would see these messages on websites that says, "Oh, this site's not finished yet. Come check back." We had this idea that one day we would finish a website and it would
Yes.
be a perfect, complete document.
Right.
And I think we've moved past that to be like, "Hey, this isn't ink. We can
Mhm.
just keep getting weird."
Thank you. We can keep getting weird, keep iterating on it. Lots of people, even with their projects, they're like, oh, like, I don't want to publish it. I don't want to put it to the world until it is absolutely perfect. And honey,
Don't do that. Thank you.
exactly. Let's let go of the need to be perfect and just show what we have so far. And we have the understanding that we're going to continue to iterate on this. We're going to continue to work on it in the future. But for now, this is what I have, and I'm proud of it.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And I think and when I talk to learners who say, "Oh, I don't want to put it up till it's perfect," what happens a lot of times is it never gets launched.
Yes.
So
Goodness.
go ahead and release your ugly websites into the world. It'll
Always.
make you make better websites in the future.
Thank you.
So let's I'll let you pick a color because I've been
Yeah,
bossy so far.
absolutely. So
Let
maybe
you.
I don't
Let
even know if
you.
this color is within the thing, but let me see. Maybe does a lavender exist?
There's not just lavender, but there's
There are many different
also
ones.
there's a special
Yeah.
CSS purple color.
Ooh, hit me with it.
Uh, oh gosh, I'd have to
Hmm.
look at, and if anybody else remembers,
Yeah.
there's a really lovely memorial purple
Oh wow. Oh my goodness.
from someone who passed.
Wow. I didn't even know that. That's amazing.
Uh, oh, it's called Rebecca purple.
Oh
So if you
wow.
put Rebecca purple in all one word,
Oh yes, I see it. There we go. Rebecca Purple. Got it.
and I like we try and be really careful to keep standards very, very clean and very, very,
Mhm.
but sometimes human stuff, yeah,
Yeah.
leaks through. And
Yeah.
I think that this was always very, very pretty. Let me
I
find.
love it.
And so it's still not showing us anything.
Well, that's because I didn't save it yet.
I think there's 2 reasons we can't see anything.
Mhm.
Oh, is it gonna default to solid?
Ooh, would it default? That's a great question. I usually put solid, but we can always test. That's what this is. So let's see. We'll stop it there. And okay. So there's no border. And let's see if we include solid. There we go.
Yeah. And here is a very lovely little Wikipedia about Rebecca
Perfect.
Purple.
Thank you.
And I love when humanity,
Mhm.
like the people behind standards and
Mm,
projects just comes out and is very,
talk
very
about it.
interesting.
That's right.
So that looks really cool.
Yeah. Look at us doing our CSS.
Right. And I'm not great at it. Do you know what? This didn't come out in the initial thing,
Mhm.
but do we, now that that's a really nice sort of picture frame,
Yeah,
does the heading being off to the side feel a little weird?
it does. Let's center it.
And we might want to have a think about that size because we're still,
Mm.
have we talked about above and below the fold as concepts yet?
Not as concepts and not on these streams, but I did mention so that we don't have to do the scrolling.
Yeah.
But yeah. Let's go through it.
Above the fold is like an oldie-timey newspaper
Yep.
reference
Yep.
to when your newspaper's folded. So the stuff you see above the fold is the big important stuff. And
Mhm.
on a website, it's what you see before you scroll down.
Yes.
And here, if I came to this website, I'd be like, "Oh, it's just a picture of this lady."
Right. You would click away
S
because some people think, "Oh, I don't need to scroll. It's just a picture. All right, moving on."
Yeah, I hope she's having a nice day. She looks like a
That's
very
right.
nice grandmother.
Exactly. Yes.
So what do we wanna do first? Do we wanna change the H1? Do we wanna use a type selector, an ID selector?
Yeah. Let's see. I don't think we have an ID on our H1. I just switched back over to our HTML, everyone. Oh, we do have an ID, which is title.
Okay.
Mhm.
So and that's the question. If we add
Mhm.
we wouldn't add other H1 elements.
No, we would not. No.
So if we wanted to, we could just go ahead and set this for all H1s.
Yes, we can. That's true.
It's very lazy, and I do love to be lazy.
And sorry, y'all, that was residual code from my testing earlier.
Which
But
is
so
a
we can
good preview of stuff we're gonna mess about with in a
that's
second.
right. Exactly. So we're going to set this for all H1s. And we only have one H1, so we didn't need to add that ID that we had on it because it's only going to be one in our code here. But how you write some CSS for all of the H1s that we have, which is only one in this case, is just you type out H1.
Yeah. So
Mhm.
a type selector, super chill.
Yep.
And did we wanna make it do we wanna make it bigger, the image smaller, both?
Might be both.
Um, but we definitely wanna center it.
Yes.
And
That's right.
if I recall correctly off the top of my would that
Mhm.
be text align?
I think it would be.
Oh, and look at
Beautiful.
that. This is why we're using
It's
VS Code
awesome.
instead of the tutorial environment because it lets us
Mhm.
cheat.
Exactly. It's wonderful. It always helps us out. And then once we type that, we can see all these other options as
Really?
well.
It just knows what we want.
It knows.
I
It's
mean,
great.
it looks like center might be the most common.
I agree.
And in the tutorial environment, when you change
Mhm.
something, it just boom, shows up
Right.
right away. But
Usually.
here, you gotta save and you
Gotta
gotta
save.
reload.
Yep. You remember y'all this dot? This dot means you did not save it yet. So we're going to save it. And how I usually do, remember, I'm on a Mac. I do Command S, which is the quick way, or you can also just do File and then Save As or Save. So either way works perfectly. Saved. And then I'm going to reload this as well. Ta-da! Perfection.
Amazing.
Mhm. Love it. Alrighty, so we have all of our H1s centered, which is wonderful. And you'll see if we expand this as well, it will always be centered. Lovely, lovely. And then we want to figure out how we can make this image smaller than what we have.
Yeah. So, um, I think there must be some kind of hmm.
Mhm.
Sorry.
Yeah, you're fine.
Oh, wait. I'm so used to being the one driving that I'm like, "Oh, I'll just get up. I'll just start searching." And we can't see that. But
No problem.
I'm gonna search for,
Mhm.
change
Mhm.
image size
Yep.
CSS because
Perfect.
I think this is probably a reasonably basic thing to do.
Yeah.
It's we could set a width and height attribute, can't we?
Exactly.
Yeah, yeah. So I was like, "Oh, is it image size? Is it" I did this not 10 hours
That's
ago.
okay.
Hmm, hmm. And this is a good example that even if you do this constantly, you'll be like, "Oh,
Mhm.
wait, how do I center a div?"
Right.
Is super common.
It's so common all the time. Yeah.
So we're gonna select. Oh, we've got an ID selector for this
We
image.
Yep, we do. and we have a couple properties already, which we can change up because we've already satisfied the free code camp like request.
We got our tick. We got
Yeah.
our
You got the
our
check
tick.
mark. You're good. Now you can change all this as much as you want because this is just going to go on our portfolio.
It's like how your permanent record in school isn't real. Like free code camp tutorial environment doesn't talk to VS Code. Like it's fine.
Exactly.
Can we change? It looks like the easiest way to do this because we definitely want height to be auto. We want them to. Can we just start taking the max width down?
Absolutely, we can.
Oh, sorry, my goofy son.
Let's try to a 50% and see what that looks like. All right, much smaller.
It's much smaller.
Yeah, but it's a little off kilter now.
Right? So do we want to do it? It's not text align for this one.
Right.
Is it just a line?
Let me see. It said nope. Unknown property align. What is it?
And I can think of
yeah.
Oh,
go ahead.
Sorry.
No, you go. You go.
I see cesium in the chat, so I'm pretty sure somebody else is going to tell us.
Oh, thanks, friend.
This is our for the main boot camp. This is our very favorite, very delightful assistant instructor.
Yes.
To be fair, also our only assistant instructor, so we're not picking on the other ones. So I could just search center.
Yep.
And this is really good practice for how do I frame the center and image?
Yes.
Center and image CSS.
Yep, that's it. That's the question you put in.
Oh.
What do they say?
Oh. So W3 Schools says to set the left and right margin to auto.
Yeah.
And set the display to block.
Yep. Got it. We can do that.
Is that the easiest way to do things? Here we've got the W3C. Oh, do you know what? Yeah.
Valid.
So I love. Oh, what happened? So what happens when we remove auto from the height is I think we've got the opportunity for things to get squishy. So can we comment out height auto for a second just to see how squishy things get?
Yeah, and I'll need to, let me change this back so that it just knows that it exists. Actually, let's comment that out for now.
Yeah.
Because we're going to figure that out soon. Okay. And then, all right. So, and we had gone over this last session, but we had gotten rid of high auto and it didn't change anything on our site before.
Does it not wiggle it by default? Like by default, is it just like cool like that?
I think that might be it.
Ah, nice.
Yeah.
So you can rely on the infinite mercy of CSS to save you, but CSS's mercy is not infinite. So specifying these is probably really good.
Yeah.
So I checked on how the W3C wants us to center a blocker image. And they said the same thing. So margin left auto. And remember, margin is the personal space an element needs. So the space outside an element.
That's right.
So margin left auto, margin right auto.
Yep.
And then we can this is normally used with a blocker fixed width, which should also be fine. Yeah. Everything's fine. So here we're just saying automatically calculate the amount of space I need to the left.
Yep.
Automatically calculate the amount of space I need to the right.
Correct.
And that means if you're just pushing off both of them equally, I should get to live in the middle every day.
Every time, as you can see, it stays in the middle.
Very responsive.
Perfect.
So this is all very. Can I write all of my CSS with you? Like CSS always stresses me out, and this is far too laid back.
Yes, let's do it.
We just tell our bosses, like, look, we didn't get any of our other stuff done. We had a lot of CSS work we had to do.
Thank you.
We had to. So one other thing I was thinking is this headshot is really, really interesting.
Yeah.
Could we center it, make the element a little bit bigger?
Yep.
And then maybe could we color it yellow and darker yellow so it looks like a brass plaque?
That works for me. Let's do it.
All of my style suggestions are very unclassy. It's for like, hey, can we turn it all bright pink?
We can. And we can always. So just a reminder for everyone, we have this element called Fig Caption, which is the thing that is telling us Katherine Johnson's headshot. And we have an ID for that, which says image caption, IMG caption. So that's what we'll want to grab over and throw to our CSS. So I'm just going to
S-
copy and paste
So
this.
I
Go
was
ahead,
going to
Jen.
say, actually, if we're making it look like the images are picture frames and the captions look like brass, would we want to
Oh,
do that as a either a class selector or a type selector,
we can
so
do
that
that.
if we make more pages later,
Yes.
that they follow the same style, that we don't have to rewrite CSS code again and again?
I love that. That's exactly correct. So we'll just grab the Fig caption then.
Yeah.
Sound
'Cause,
good,
like,
everyone?
and
Perfect.
later on, we might decide, "Oh, we've got fig captions that we don't wanna do this goofy thing to," and then
Right.
we can apply classes.
Right.
But for right now, say, "Hey, what if we would
Hmm.
wanna do a whole page of tribute pages?
Hmm.
Let's," and this is the concept known as reusability.
Yes.
Yeah. So you can write it for each different image using their ID,
Yep.
but we wanna be happy. We wanna go outside and play.
Exactly.
Oh, so let's center it first.
Yep.
Yeah?
So we'll do
And we
text
just did that.
align,
Yeah.
text align, and then center. So we're centering that. And then I'll just save this so y'all can see it get centered. Yay!
Yay.
Beautiful. Okay.
So
Yep.
I wanna see how big the element itself is, and you might say, "Oh,
Mm.
Jess, it's about that big. What are you talking about?" And I say, "Well, no. That's the text inside the element." I've been telling the
Mhm.
learners again and again, all HTML elements are rectangles,
Yes,
even this oval.
that's right.
So, could we add a background color just to see what our rectangle is?
Absolutely.
And I'm gonna pick a very, very I'm gonna pick a actually, can you
Mhm.
show us this? And we'll pick together.
Yeah.
Because I know some designers who just know a hex code magically,
Wow.
and that's not me.
Yes, not me either.
So we're using this
No
color
problem.
picker, and it's gonna magically, it's gonna tell us the hex code
Mhm.
based on what we pick.
Yeah.
So if we click in this rainbow band on a yellow,
Mhm.
and then
Oops,
we
a
can
little
pick the
green.
yellow that suits us best, like what feels brassy. Ooh,
One of
ooh.
these, yeah.
And this actually works because we can pick one of the less saturated ones for the
Mhm.
background and one of the more saturated ones for the border.
Wow. I'm a fan.
I love this. I use this all the time. There's so
Mhm.
many of these, not just the MDN one.
Mhm.
But I like you're driving. You're the boss. What
All
color?
right. Okay. So less brassy and then more brassy. Maybe this one a little bit less brassy. Let me see. Oh, things are
Oh,
changing.
yeah. Everything's fine.
That's fine. Okay, so if I were to pick maybe less brassy for this one. All right, so if I were to click that, it gives us the hex code right there.
Right?
Cool. Love it. So that's less brassy, and we're going to do that for the background color. Is that what we
I
wanted?
think so. Yeah,
Yeah.
just to get that rectangle.
Perfect.
Honestly, just to prove that I'm not lying about it being a rectangle.
I love it. Let's save it and then view it.
Oh, see?
Ho!
See? That's
Mhm.
very big, that rectangle.
That's right. Exactly.
Do we want the oh, heck! Cesium is pointing out that there's a color picker built into VS Code?
Ooh, if you click the preview square next to the name of the color, you type. This is dope. Let me see. Next to the color. Oh,
What?
Deviant,
I'm just
you're the
pretending I didn't know about that,
best.
so I can sound cool.
Yes.
I'm
Yes.
I didn't know.
I love this. That's super cool.
So this is cool as well because I think we have
Mhm.
a new problem.
Yeah. Hit me.
That's it's very like the this element's a little bit longer than we planned on
Mhm.
it being.
That's right. Didn't know it.
Do we wanna and it was invisible until it wasn't.
Exactly.
Do we wanna trim it?
Yeah. Let's definitely trim it. Okay. Let's see. What are some various ways that we can trim
Would
this
changing the
element?
padding, like, would explicitly setting the padding to just be a couple pixels more than the
Actual element length?
text?
Yeah. Let's
Or
see.
would that give us even more space?
Or if we actually explicitly set the padding, we can try. We can always
Yeah.
try things. Yeah. So we'll do padding. We could do left and right. Padding left and then padding right. And we can set those to a couple pixels, maybe 5 maximum.
And I'm suspicious because I suggested this, and now that I've suggested it, I think that it's gonna give us even more pixels.
It very much might. And that's why we love to try things with CSS. Okay, so we
Ah!
see where the endings are now. We didn't click thing yet. Nothing. Gotcha.
So
Let's try.
cesium just learned about a cool thing. Width is equal to the
Ooh,
fit of the content. Width equals fit.
yes. I
Thank you
remember
so
that.
much. I was just gonna goof off for the next 20 minutes. But and this is
Season
one of
up.
the really cool, stressful things about CSS or HTML is that there's just so much. Hey!
Here we go.
Hey!
Woo, ooh, ooh, ooh.
Oh. Oh. So
Mhm.
now we have a new problem.
Yes, exactly.
So the text is aligned
Mhm.
in the center, but the element's not aligned in the center.
Right.
So what I think we need to do is
Mhm.
pull out where it says text align center because we can't
Yep.
use that. We're talking about, and I think we need to do this margin left, margin right thing again.
Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah.
Auto, whoop, auto, and then margin, right, auto.
Do you think that's going to do it?
It did it!
Everything's
Yay!
fine.
I
Everything's
love it.
easy.
Thank y'all. This is awesome.
So we probably want to push it away from the bottom of the image a little more.
Agreed. So some margin top.
The margin top, because remember, oh, you already know, but margins, how much personal space your element gets.
That's right.
So it's the space outside of it.
Mhm.
And actually, we've got a recommendation that says, do you know what? We took away all the padding, and
Yeah.
now it just sort of looks like highlighter. Can we get some margin off the top, and then
Yep.
can we get some sort of padding all around? Is a real thank you very much. That's an immensely good point.
It is. Wonderful.
Oh, that's fabulous. I love this. I love pair programming where somebody else is driving.
It's the best. Okay. And then we said we want a little bit of padding. Thank you
A
so
little
much,
bit of
friend.
padding.
Okay. So a little bit of padding. Let's do some, we'll do padding all around.
Yeah.
But we could break it up like this. So you can
Oh,
say, yeah, go ahead.
are we gonna do the clock thing?
Yeah, we could do the clock.
So you can say padding top, padding bottom,
Right.
padding,
Left and
but
right.
we're not you. I'm very
Mhm,
lazy.
mhm,
So we could just say padding, and
mhm.
then we set it in the same direction a clock goes.
Yep.
Oh, am I mirrored in this? Oh, dang. Do I remember how a clock goes?
I know, right? Have to figure out where the mirror
So
is.
top, right, bottom, left, top,
Yes.
right, bottom. Dun-dun-dun-dun-dun.
Dun, 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 dun.
So do we want to set a little bit more on the top and bottom than the left and right,
I
probably?
love that. Yeah.
So like 10, 5, 10, 5?
Yep.
Sorry, you just get me covering my face for a minute.
Yes.
Oh,
Lovely,
oh, so,
lovely.
and let's give it like a chunky border.
Yeah.
And this is my favorite thing to do with free code camp projects is like, cool, let's take it out of the tutorial environment and then let's make it your own. Um, yeah, border 10 pixel. This was so good. Thank you so much, cesium.
Really.
And actually, just as a fun fact, I did look up cesium, and cesium tea is roughly the worst idea you could have.
So, making sure we have that back there. And then there was that cool color picker tool. So I tried to it changed the one that we had right
Ah,
there. Yeah,
ah.
so I didn't wanna
Oh,
change.
but we could copy and paste that color
Oh, yes.
and then use the color picker.
See, this is why 2 brains are always better than 1. And then we can use the color picker here and change it. Something a little darker. Cool. Yep, looks solid.
Oh, this is so good. So
Cool.
cesium actually taught a really, really useful way to remember that it's trouble. Top,
Ooh.
right, bottom, left. Top, right, bottom, left.
Oh!
That is so much nice. So, you know, the next
That's an
time we do the boot camp, we're gonna have to switch, make cesium do all the front-facing stuff. I'll
Mhm.
do all of the background stuff. Love it. So excited.
That's perfect.
So that's good. So if you want to remember the order that's set in, it's top, right, bottom, left, trouble.
Mhm.
Oh,
Cool.
that looks cool,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Ooh, ooh, is
Mhm.
there a way to
Hit me.
I don't know, is there a way to make the
Oh, little indents
right?
in the corners?
Would
How
is a negative border radius no, because that would just make it a circle again.
a negative border radius
What is
would
a
make it a circle. I haven't played around with that yet. We can always try, honey.
yeah. Border radius defines how rounded a corners are.
Mhm. What about border
Hmm.
radius? Border radius, can we do negative 50?
I don't think a negative
Travel
border
one.
radius is something. I think I'm being
Just
goofy,
making stuff up.
right?
That's okay.
I think this is still gonna make it round.
Yeah.
Oh,
Travel the
CZ
other
makes a
board.
good point that we might wanna try a border style that is not solid.
That is an excellent point. And let's try, maybe let's have this. Maybe we can do dotted is one. We'll save it.
Oh, that's
So
look,
interesting.
I like that.
Me
It
too.
doesn't feel like a brass thing, but if we turn the background black, the
Mhm.
text a high contrast color, and turn that a neon color, it's gonna look like her name up in lights.
Ooh, that is so interesting. Oh, that'd be cool. I got
We
what you mean.
definitely need, like, a stronger font,
Yes.
but we can do a stronger font. Nobody can stop
Always.
us.
Always. Okay. All right. So did we want to do the neon look for
Right?
it?
If it's okay,
Yeah.
yeah. I
Absolutely.
mean,
Absolutely.
she Susie makes a solid. We've got a bit of a SpongeBob thing going on,
Yes. Right
uh,
now.
whi which is fabulous. All the kids are very into it, the kids being 35. Um, but so here,
Perfect.
we're gonna
All right.
change that to so black background.
Yep, perfect. So that'll I think is that a FFFF?
We could just say black. I
Oh,
love
yeah,
a
look at me.
right?
I think yeah, that's perfect.
And that's gonna
Oh,
ruin things temporarily
that's okay.
because
Temporarily. Just the
strong Pac-Man vibe.
Oh, it is! That would be so cool. Y'all, we're gonna be making games next time, an actual Pac-Man thing. That'd be dope.
Don't promise folks stuff I'm not gonna do.
You're right, you're right. Don't listen to
Do
me.
you know what? We'll make Naya come back and hang out with us when we do the JavaScript boot
Absolutely.
camp
Yes.
and punish them for suggesting all these things.
Sorry, I'm the worst. Perfect.
So
Okay.
we need to change our color, our text
Mhm.
color. Is text color a
What is
property?
it? Let's see, because I remember it being
It
no,
might.
I
I
think
think
it's
it's just
just
color.
color. Yeah, it's just
Yeah.
yeah,
And
so
if we say
color, what do we
white
want?
here,
Yep.
that's one of the keywords, and I'll just know it.
Yep, you got it.
I
Perfect.
do think we probably want text decoration bold though.
Perfect. Text, decoration, bold. Do
And ooh,
decoration. I don't think that is one of them. Text decoration. These are the only options.
hmm.
So when you say text decoration, you meant like the text.
Let's do a CSS transform instead and make it all caps.
Okay.
Just bossing you around.
Yes. How do you do the CSS transform? I haven't. Oh, font weight. Yeah, thank you. I was like, it's font
Oh,
weight for
font weight.
bold.
Font weight is
Yeah.
bold. We could do both. Sorry, I'm not ignoring you. My worst cat is sitting right between me and the computer, so I'm a little bit.
Thank you,
And do you
setting
know what?
down.
That's going to be the prize for being the best student, is I send you a very bad cat.
Oh, that'd be the best. Sweet babies.
So let's try text transform.
Yep.
Or is it how does that work? I don't remember. CSS text transform capitalize. Oh, autocomplete's got me. Oh, it is text. It's built in. We've got somebody saying they're trying to catch up. Don't worry about it. These are
Mhm.
these classes stay up
Yep.
on YouTube. There's no hurry. And the thing is, if you get to them over, no, don't study over the weekend. You relax on the weekend. If you
Yeah,
get to them next week, nobody's going to be hurt. If you get to them next month, nobody's going to be hurt. We all hang out in the course forum.
exactly.
Everything's fine.
That's right.
Oh, that's so cool. So text time for capital. Oh, with a Z though, with a Z. Come on.
Ooh, capitalize.
No,
Yeah.
you're absolutely right. It's just the
Oh,
American spelling. I'm just being
oh,
huffy.
got you. And so that was supposed to capitalize all the letters?
I think it should. And if we save that and reload it,
Yeah, it did not. This is saved, no thing, and then boom,
hmm,
and then it is angry. But is that because we're not targeting the text itself, but are targeting the whole
that
box?
should do it to everything in the.
Oh,
Okay, let's grab the text transform documentation.
yeah, MDN.
And if anybody has any MDN feedback, I
Mhm.
will get to see the MDM team next week so I can fuss
Nice.
them out. I won't fuss them out.
Lovely.
And I'm just going to drop this into the chat so folks can see this on their time as well.
Thank you, thank
So
you.
it specifies how to capitalize. It says text transform capitalize should work.
Mhm. CSS demo. Very, very interesting.
Accessibility concerns.
Uppercase. Yes.
Oh, accessibility concerns is a jerk thing to do. Oh, how about text? That was my mistake. That was my
Mhm.
mistake. I know
Mhm.
exactly what the problem is.
Yeah, hit me.
Capitalize capitalizes the first letter,
That's so funny. Look at that. Got
where
it.
we want uppercase.
Perfect. Perfect.
Y'all are gentle as the day is long. Me saying, oh, obviously capitalize, but it's already capitalized.
And that's okay.
Uppercase should do it.
Let's do it.
And do you know what?
Yay!
There we go.
Yes.
So what's a good up in lights color to change that border to?
Mhm. What y'all looking for? What we want?
I mean, the Barbie pink is very in right
Oh,
now,
yes.
but how do we feel with that with the purple? Is it? Is it?
That's fine. Why not?
And do you know what? So if anybody has any questions about
Mhm.
stuff we've been looking at
Yep.
today,
Yep.
go ahead and drop them in the chat. I think we'll mess around a bit just while we finish up for the day.
Yes.
Yeah. But if you click on the border, that little that little brass colored
Mhm.
box,
Yep.
I think it'll let us change it right in here.
Yes, I agree. So which one did we want to change it to?
You know what? Dealer's choice. It's your own good judgment.
Ooh,
I have terrible
exciting.
taste, as
Okay.
evidenced by my cat in my life.
Let us try. See one of these
Oh,
hot, hot, hot pinks.
hot, hot, hot fangs. It's a very technical term, isn't it? The hot, hot, hot fangs.
Exactly. It is. Okay, so we got it. We're gonna save it.
And
Woo!
if we wanted to, we could
Sparkle.
make all of the background black so that just sort of hangs there.
Oh yes.
Yeah,
Ooh, I like that. Let's do it. All right. So we're gonna do. So you mean the background of the whole
we could.
this? Yeah, let's do it.
Oh, we've got somebody else asking for green. Let's go ahead. We can add green lights like this around her name at the top.
I
So
like
this is
that.
very stressful. Very,
Mhm.
and the nice thing is by adding this in CSS,
Mhm.
this shouldn't this shouldn't be annoying for folks using assistive technology. So we're not adding extra semantic meaning to the website. We're just adding goofy, goofy decoration.
Mhm. Background color,
And
we're
that
gonna
can be
do
really tempting to say, let's make it as weird as possible. And then when you're done, you say, oh, this is going to be hard for people to read. Because I think when we
which we
make the
don't want.
background of the whole page
Mhm.
black,
Yep.
I think I see a couple problems that are going to come up pretty fast.
Yes, and I'm going to make sure that we add it to our HTML
Ooh.
because right now we're referring to an element that does not exist in our HTML.
There was no body in your HTML.
There was no body. It was not required by Free Code Camp, and I mentioned that to our readers. Like, don't forget, like we're just doing things to get a check first, but
And
we would normally always include a
that's
body, doc type, etc.
the one thing I really stress is sometimes you just want to pass it and get your certificate, and that is
Yep,
fine.
exactly. That's okay.
You
But
know,
the
I've
proper way.
I've taught this like 7 times and I still
Mhm.
haven't gone through and got a certificate.
Woo!
Right?
It
Because I
happens.
always get as far as an hour and then I was like, "You're on your own, kids."
Yep.
Most
Good luck.
kids, I mean, again, 35-year-olds.
Yes.
It's the privilege of the elderly.
Right. Okay. That is stunning. But let's get these words to show up again.
Let's put them back.
Yeah, let's put the words back. And then
Oh,
we'll
so
just
we've kind of just got a dark mode deal on.
oh, that's nice. Do color, which grants the verbs. Oh,
Because this is a really we wanna keep the contrast really high.
yes.
And you
Correct.
know what? While we're talking about the contrast and read a bit, let's change the H1 color,
Yep.
but I think we're gonna have to break up this paragraph, and I think that might be an accessibility issue.
Good point.
Um, like the cognitive load, the sort of cognitive processing demands
Mhm.
of looking at all of this big block of text at once kinda sucks.
Does. Also, that's not great. Okay. Yeah, that's a lot. Okay, so let's break up that big old P tag that we have. All right.
And here, we're probably gonna wanna how would you do it? I'm so bossy.
Oh, no, boss me, honey. Let's figure it out together. I'm totally cool with either.
So I think I might be interested in doing multiple do you know what?
What?
Do you know what?
What?
If we made multiple P tags,
Yep,
that'll automatically get us some styling space because 'cause they're block elements, so
that's
they'll spread
true.
out. And what we could do is we could turn some of the text
Mhm.
high contrast, very light colors or neon colors that still pass a contrast readability. So we
Got
could
it.
have more of a so we could add more color in the text
Mhm.
as long as there's space between the paragraphs and the contrast is still high enough.
Cool. That works for me. All right. So let's get into it. We are going to break these up. So I'm going to keep them all in one large P tag, but with lots of different small P tags inside.
Easiest way to
Or,
do it.
yeah, perfect. P tag, great. Break these up. Biography, More Stories by Catherine. We'll end that one there. Then we'll start a new one. P tag.
And the cool
Artist.
thing here is it's super easy to accidentally put one in the wrong place. Oh, I
Yes,
think
it
you've
happens.
got that one opens and closes on the same line up on 21.
Oh, I didn't even see that. Yes, you're right. Look
No,
at that.
it's absolutely what I would do. And the
Opens,
nice thing
closes.
is VS Code will kind of yell at you. It'll be like, "Ah, nah.
They
Ah,
will.
nah," being a technical term.
Yep. And
Oh,
then
CC makes
closing.
so it does so 2 things.
Mhm.
You can nest a paragraph inside a paragraph. That'll technically work. But also, I don't think these paragraph tags are to be nested within each other when we're done. I think we're just arranging it so one starts, one ends, one start, one ends, one start, one ends.
Ooh, that's an
Oh,
excellent.
Ahmad is saying, "No, no, no,
Can't do
you
it.
can't put one inside." I was
Can't
saying,
do it.
"Oh, I bet you could stack them."
I
Ahmad
totally
is just super patient, be like, "Jess, I've been telling you.
can't
I've been tell
do
you are
it.
the 2 of you together are an absolute gift." So,
Y'all
we
are the best.
haven't stacked them in this case, and it
Right.
sounds like we maybe can't.
And let's get rid of that last. There we go. You're hiding. There we go. So now you should be happy. Look at that. Oh, still a little bit of a
Still
wall, but
you know what? I love a wall. So
it's broken.
I think we
Mhm.
could and just one last thing just to review.
Yes.
Could we so I talked about pseudo selectors,
Mhm.
and somebody gave me a
Oh,
really, really
yeah.
interesting way to look at them and say, "Hey, if you look at the ID selector or the type selector
Mhm.
as the noun,
Mhm.
and then look at the pseudo selector as either the adverb or the adjective in a sentence.
I like that.
I had been talking about almost like your nicknames for your besties. Like
Yes.
sometimes you say, "Hey," you walk into a room and you say, "Hey, all of y'all."
Mhm.
And you don't mean all of your friends.
Right.
You don't mean all of your best friends, but you
Right.
mean you who are in this room.
Right.
But I got told the noun adjective earlier today, and I love
Ooh.
that.
Mhm.
So what if we use the nth child?
Okay.
Oh, Aria. Ush.
Oh, good
Oh,
baby.
sorry, I wasn't saying to use an Aria. I was trying to remove my cat Aria.
I love it.
Um,
Okay. So nth child for which one?
for our P element. So can we
Yeah.
change the color just of our second paragraph?
P, and then it's usually nth sec. What is what is it? Child.
Ah,
Go ahead.
nope. I was just gonna say it's pretty good like that.
Okay.
I think that's the right. I don't think it might want a space before the. Sorry, we do these afternoon streams right about dinner time, so everybody gets real sweet.
Use empty rule sets. Okay.
Oh yes, you need to. I think you need to put the 2 in the paragraph there.
Perfect.
And
P.
if we just set
Yeah.
the color to pink,
Yep. Color.
and remember by default, it's gonna go. I think it's gonna go up to top to bottom. Hmm. Oh wait, did we save?
Oh, reload. We did save. We reload.
Hmm.
Uh,
It's
what is
not the nth child.
it?
It's not the nth child.
Because it's, yes, it doesn't
It's
have
not the
any children.
child of the P element.
Yeah.
That's me being a goofball. So it's actually the nth child of uh the body
Body,
or main. We can
main.
say main.
Yeah, main.
So do we want to pick the like fourth child in the main?
And child. And then 4. Yeah. Excellent.
Oh, so that just magic. Okay, cool.
Mm-hmm.
Cece made a really good point to say nth of type. Nth of type. Nth of type.
That works.
That's gonna work as
That
well.
works. Thank you, Ahmad, as well. Let me
No, I said the space
highlight.
before the colon. I was wrong. Thank you.
Keep them the same. And then it went away. What did we do?
Is there's no fourth. Oh, there's no fourth main. So that needs to be main needs to be turned back into a paragraph.
Got you. Yeah.
You just gonna sit there till I feed you? Missy.
Happy.
Perfect. So we've got to
Lovely.
use some pseudo selectors. We've
Yeah.
got to review some things.
Yep.
And this feels I feel bad making Laurent do the stressful one with JavaScript. This was very harmless. This was very safe.
It is.
Amazing. Shall we let each other go until
We
next
shall.
week?
That sounds
And
good.
next week, we're going to be doing the very next
Mhm.
project.
Mhm.
And I'm just reminding myself
Yeah.
as the next project, it's a technical documentation project.
Exactly. Yes.
And that's going to let us preview a little bit about databases. We'll do the documentation about databases,
Mhm.
but that's it. So we'll just have some passive. I'm going to hang up. There are too many cats. I'm so sorry. I'm so
I love
sorry.
it. That is okay. Well, thank you everyone so much. Thanks for coming to the stream. We love y'all and we miss y'all and we can't wait to see you next week. Talk to you soon.
Bye. T.
Bye.